Welcome to episode 53, Packaging and Submitting an I-1 Assessment, where we focus on how organizing your evidence determines whether your submission moves quickly or gets stuck in review. In the HITRUST I-1 process, the evidence itself proves compliance, but its structure proves discipline. Reviewers must be able to navigate and validate your work without confusion. A clean, well-labeled package communicates professionalism and readiness. A disorganized one forces clarifications, delays, and questions about accuracy. Packaging is not just presentation, it is proof of control. In this episode, we walk through how to create folders, maintain file integrity, redact sensitive information, and track every step so your submission stands as an example of clarity, accuracy, and confidence. Packaging determines how smoothly the review proceeds because assessors follow the path you build. If the structure is predictable and consistent, reviewers can locate each artifact without searching or guessing. That order saves time for both sides and reduces back-and-forth communication. The best packages look and feel methodical, clear names, consistent timestamps, and matching evidence references. In HITRUST terms, packaging is part of assurance. It demonstrates that your organization applies the same rigor to documentation as it does to technical controls. A clean layout not only moves faster through validation, but also sets the tone for how reviewers judge the rest of your work. A standard folder and index structure provides predictability. Use numbered folders for each evidence type, such as O1 Policies, O2 Procedures, O3 Implementations, and O4 Screenshots. Within each folder, group items by control number or category. Include a simple spreadsheet or table listing every control, the evidence name, and its exact location. For example, one row might say, Access Control Review Log, located in O3 Implementations, File 23. This index becomes the map reviewers use to find what they need. Avoid complex subfolder nesting that hides files several layers deep. Consistent numbering and plain language names make navigation effortless. A reviewer should be able to follow your structure blindfolded and still reach the correct file. File formats and portal requirements can make or break a submission. Always use stable, widely readable formats such as PDF for documents and comma-separated text for data. Avoid sending proprietary formats that require specialized software to open. If you must include something unusual, provide a clear viewer link or conversion notes. Follow the HITRUST portal's size and naming rules closely. If files exceed limits, compress them into approved archives while keeping folder order intact. When scanning documents, use searchable text so reviewers can find key terms quickly. Proper formatting prevents wasted time and signals professionalism. Your evidence should open instantly, read clearly, and close cleanly. Locking versions and recording checksums preserve evidence integrity once packaging begins. After finalizing files, stop editing them. Use checksums, unique numeric strings generated by hashing tools, to confirm that files have not changed. Store these checksum values in a simple text document within your package. If questions arise later, recalculating the checksum proves that your evidence remains untouched. Version locking creates a stable snapshot that matches exactly what was submitted. It also prevents accidental overwrites during collaboration. In HITRUST reviews, integrity counts as much as accuracy, and version control is the simplest way to show that your evidence is trustworthy from start to finish. Governance reviews and sign-offs verify that everything in the package meets quality expectations before upload. A senior reviewer or compliance lead should cross-check the mapping table, confirm file completeness, and validate redaction accuracy. Capture their sign-off electronically or with a dated approval note stored alongside the submission. This governance layer ensures accountability and prevents unreviewed or duplicate evidence from slipping through. When assessors see internal sign-offs, they recognize a culture of quality and ownership. Internal validation before submission is the best way to prevent clarifications afterward. Upload sequence and status tracking keep the process orderly once the package moves into the HITRUST portal. Upload in logical groups, policies first, then procedures, then technical evidence, so reviewers follow a familiar rhythm. Track each upload's completion and note any system confirmation numbers or timestamps. Maintain a running checklist showing which items are pending, in progress, or complete. This checklist becomes operational proof that your organization controls its own submission workflow. It also prevents missed uploads or partial sets, which are among the most common causes of delay. Orderly sequencing keeps pace steady and predictable. Clarification triage and response windows define how you handle feedback. Reviewers may request additional context or updated files. Assign a single coordinator to receive and manage these requests, route them to control owners, and ensure prompt response within agreed timelines. Keep a simple log of every clarification: who requested it, when it was answered, and what evidence was provided. This log becomes a record of responsiveness and transparency. In R2 and I1 reviews alike, efficient clarifications show maturity, the difference between reactive fixes and proactive management. Archiving the final package for reuse saves effort on future cycles. Once HITRUST confirms submission, store an identical copy in a controlled internal repository. Include the mapping table, checksum list, and sign-off records. Version the archive clearly. For example, I1 assessment final package approved June 2025. This archive serves as both evidence and reference for continuous improvement, making the next assessment faster and easier. Retaining the entire submission history also allows quick responses to regulator or customer inquiries about specific controls. Archiving completes the compliance loop: preparation, submission, and preservation. Retention timelines and ownership define how long the package stays accessible and who manages it. Align retention with corporate policy and regulatory expectations, typically 3 to 7 years. Assign a named custodian responsible for storage, access, and controlled destruction at end of life. Update this ownership record if personnel change. Auditors view defined retention as part of governance assurance. It shows your organization treats compliance data like any regulated asset, with lifecycle control from creation to deletion. Consistent retention management turns static files into governed evidence assets. Post-submission monitoring and updates ensure accuracy after upload. Track system notifications, feedback from HITRUST reviewers, and any version control notes. If corrections are required, document what changed, when, and why. Once certification completes, note the official approval date and store correspondence alongside the evidence. This post-cycle care reinforces readiness for the next renewal. Review the submission process itself: what went smoothly, what caused delay, and how to improve. In HITRUST size, continuous refinement signals true maturity. An orderly, reviewer-friendly packaging process defines a professional I1 submission. Structure folders clearly, preserve timestamps, lock versions, and map every artifact to its requirement. Protect sensitive information, govern your internal reviews, and track your uploads. Archive final materials with retention ownership, and monitor outcomes for improvement. When assessors see clarity, consistency, and integrity in your package, they experience your program as trustworthy before reading a single document. In the I1 world, good packaging does not just support assurance, it embodies it, turning compliance into a repeatable, reliable cycle of excellence.